It's me, Rex the Great. As everybody knows, Super Mario Odyssey recently came out and has easily made its way to be one of my favorite games of all time. I could not put that game down for the first 2 weeks that it's come out, so much so that I actually completed the game 100% within the first 2 weeks, and I am going to actually tell you guys how I went about doing that, what were my top 3 most challenging power moons to acquire were, and how you can get them if you have been having some problems with these as well. So, let's go! What's up everybody, welcome back to all of my subscribers, and if you have not subscribed yet, new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, stick around, check out some of my other videos, and yeah, enjoy. I don't really know what else to say about that. But moving on, quick heads up, if you have not beat Super Mario Odyssey yet and you don't wish to have anything spoiled for you, don't watch this video. There will be spoilers in this video, so now's your chance, leave. Alright, so for those of you who stuck around and want to know more about what I'm talking about, in order to actually complete the storyline of Super Mario Odyssey, it doesn't take too many power moons, as you probably have already figured out, in order to get to Bowser and actually defeat him and see the credits. But after you defeat Bowser, you will notice that there are a ton of more power moons to acquire, and in order to get those power moons, you will need a little bit of help, whether it be from the Explorer Toad right outside of the Odyssey, or maybe you might need to use an amiibo here and there. Now I know that they had amiibos come out for the game, but if you did not pick those up and you happen to have a Bowser, a Peach, or a Mario amiibo, they will still do everything that the new Super Mario Odyssey amiibos do as well. So Bowser will actually help you find all of the purple coins. If you happen to get stuck, you can't figure out where all of the purple coins are, you might only want to use this as a last resort, just because it kind of takes away from the fun of actually searching for them. But if you really can't find any and you really need some help, use the Bowser amiibo. He will help you find all of the purple coins. Another useful amiibo to have is definitely Peach. Now Peach will take your 3 points in your health meter and bring it to 6 points of a health meter, so you have a few more points of damage that you can take before you actually, you know, lose coins and have to restart wherever you were. So having Peach in your amiibo collection is definitely useful. And lastly, the Mario amiibo. Now, I personally use the Super Mario 30th Anniversary amiibo. I like this one just because it did unlock a certain costume that I did not see was unlockable in the game, which was an original Mario. So this amiibo was really, really cool, but the ability itself, I never even used it. The ability made it to where if you took a hit of damage, it would not affect your life meter. Now, you have to be careful with this one, because if you're, say you're on a platform and you have like a bullet bill coming at you and you're on a small platform, you still will get hit and it will knock you back, but your life meter will not get affected. But you as the character will be affected. It will knock you off and you will die if you get knocked off of a platform. So be careful with this amiibo. It does not protect you and make you invincible like the stars would in previous Mario games, but this one will make your life meter unaffected if you happen to get hit. But you yourself will get knocked back and it will look like you have been taking a hit of damage. So be careful. Another good reason to have those amiibos lying around is because they will actually help you find power moons. If you go up to the little silver robot that is outside of the Odyssey, sometimes it is a little bit further from the Odyssey in certain kingdoms, but it's usually in the general area of the Odyssey when you start out. Now, if you go up to this little silver robot, you will see a little amiibo symbol above its head, and you can scan an amiibo and it will send that amiibo out to look for hints. Now, when you do use this feature, it does take about 5 minutes or so in order to get the hint from the robot, so you will need to scan a couple of them at a time. I believe you can scan up to about 3 of them and wait about 5 minutes, and when you come back, you can get all 3 hints at the same time. I highly suggest using that feature if you are having a hard time finding certain power moons, because a lot of them are not as obvious as you would think, and some of them can be very, very difficult to find. But just like I said about the Bowser amiibo, if you happen to, need to use that feature, go for it, but I would only use it in a last resort kind of scenario, just because it does kind of take away from the fun of actually exploring and searching for these power moons. Another cool thing about Super Mario Odyssey is is the ability to unlock certain costumes. Now, if you have some amiibos like Dr. Mario, Wario, Waluigi, you can unlock these costumes without having to get more power moons, but if you don't have these amiibos, it's really cool that you can actually go find more and more power moons to unlock more and more costumes. But when you do unlock the costumes, you will have to pay for them with coins. Which brings me to my next tip, and that is searching for coins. What I was doing in order to get a lot of coins to buy these costumes was going to New Donk City, playing the festival level, and going through there and gathering every coin that I could find. But when I would get to Donkey Kong, I would actually let him knock me out, and I would start back over in order to go back through there and get all the coins, so I didn't have to go back into the room, talk to the little guy that started up the festival area. So that is what I did in order to get a lot of coins, which you would average about 300 coins every time that you make your way through that area and make it to Donkey Kong. So if you need to get a lot of coins and buy those, that is my suggestion on how to get a lot of coins all at once. So now that we've gone over a few tips to make the game a little bit easier on yourself, I do want to talk about a few of the most challenging power moons to acquire, for me at least. All right, so the first most challenging power moons that I will talk about, you need to go to the dark side of the moon. If you haven't made your way to the dark side of the moon, don't worry, you'll get there eventually. But as soon as you get to the dark side of the moon, outside of the Odyssey, there is a door where you throw your Cappy onto a scarecrow, and it will open the doors for you and make your way onto this challenge. Now, when you get inside these doors, it will bring you to an area where you see a brick road almost, and I don't really know what else to call it, but it's pretty much a brick road levitating in the sky. So you need to make your way across this as fast as possible. Stick to the right-hand side because that's where the most of the bricks are. As you keep moving down this road, you will have bullet bills breaking the bricks as you're going. So as long as you stick to the areas that have the most bricks, it will give you a little bit more room to run back on because you have to go on the other side, grab a key, and then make your way back as fast as possible. So the sticking to the right-hand side is pretty important because that's where most of the bricks are. Gives you more area to run back on. So the best thing that I can do is tell you, run. Just keep that momentum going and just keep going as fast as you possibly can. Get over there, grab that key, make your way back, and you should be fine. In the same area, you will find another second power moon underneath the brick road itself. You have to basically utilize your long jump one after another to get your way all the way across, have a big bullet bill follow you back and smash a wall that is concealing another power moon. Now, the trick to this is literally utilizing your long jump. Once you get under that little platform, you need to long jump across each one of these bricks and just make sure that you're timing it properly, or else you will, kind of hit the next pillar and just fall and you'll have to start over. So utilize your long jump properly, make sure you're timing it good, and you should be fine. But when you are on your way back, it is very, very important that when you make it across, to make sure that you know that that bullet bill is following you. So if you happen to move, you will distract that bullet bill and make it not hit the wall if you are not directly centered in front of the wall. So standing in front of the wall and timing that properly is a must. So make sure you're paying attention to that. All right, the second mission that I found to be the most challenging would be on the dark side of the moon as well. Once you make your way across the first power line and you get into that area where you see all the stone fruit, you will jump up to the top platform, and off to the right-hand side, you will see a little area where you can jump down and land. There will be another little scarecrow that you have to throw your Cappy onto, and it will take you into the area that I'm about to talk about. Once you go through these doors, you will get transferred to an area that looks like New Donk City, except for it is nighttime. Now, when you get there, you will notice a little small blue button that you have to press and then dash across this roadway in order to make it to the next little blue button to kind of continue to go through this mission. Now, the first thing that I will suggest is once you hit that blue button, you need to start using your roll ability and kind of stay in a line where you can try to miss this one little wall that is in your way. So if you can manage to do that, you will get across that first platform totally fine. And once you get to that second platform, that's where things can get a little bit difficult. Now, if you can manage to do this in one shot, what you want to do is kind of keep your momentum rolling when you're using your roll ability and you want to hit that button and time your jump properly in order to set yourself up for a triple jump, and you kind of want to go in a little bit of an angle so it sets you up to where once you get to the top of the platform, you can use your long jump to get across these next certain obstacles. Now, what you need to do up there is really make sure that if you hit a wall, you need to get back and make sure you can get to that blue button before you run out of time and you actually drop. So the biggest suggestion that I have is be conscious of if you made a mistake, don't try to keep going, just go back to the blue button to set yourself up to try again. So take care of that tank if you really have to, but if you can keep your momentum going, you hit the blue button, set yourself up for the jump, you should be able to keep your momentum going in order to make it across that second platform. That is the most difficult platform. Now, once you've made it past the second sequence of those disappearing platforms and you've gotten to the third button, it is pretty easy to get your way all the way to the end from this point out. So what you need to do is hit that third button, and in order to get the second power moon on this mission, you will need to take the right-hand path that has the breakable metal platforms. So what you do, hit that button and just take off. Use your long jump, and just like you would with the second platform, just make sure you're not smacking yourself into any walls and messing yourself up. So that's really the only suggestion that I have for that one. If you can keep your momentum going and you can jump up that one pretty quickly, you will be able to grab that second power moon and then make your way onto a stable platform, which will give you enough space in order to get the main power moon of this area. And really, that's all. All right, and the final, most challenging power moon to acquire for me, don't laugh, was volleyball against the snail in the Seaside Kingdom. Now, I'm not talking about the first power moon that you get from this challenge, but the second one, where you have to actually volley 100 volleys back to the snail, and that one can get very, very hard. So the two suggestions that I have for this one, because there's a couple of ways that you can go about beating this. Now, the first one, if you have a second player that is good and you think that you guys can conquer it that way, having two people to spread out on the little volleyball court would make it a little bit easier for you. Now, the second way that I would suggest doing this, and if you have to do this solo, this is how I had to do it. You want to stay center of the volleyball court and throw your cappy to bounce the ball back. Now, it can be a little bit difficult and it will take some practice, but that is the best way to go about doing it, because if you are dead center, you can pretty much hit anywhere on the volleyball court with cappy in order to make that ball go back. But be aware that you do have to time that throw just right, or else that ball will hit the sand and you are back to starting over again. So there you guys have it. Those are some of the tips that I have for you and some of the most challenging power moons to acquire in my opinion. I hope this video was a little bit helpful to you. If not, I'm sorry, I tried my best. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Make sure to share this video around with your friends who also enjoy Super Mario Odyssey. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that. Encourage your friends to subscribe as well. Stick around, you might enjoy the channel. And if you are already a subscriber to this channel, thank you guys so much. Your support means everything to me. If you want to support the channel even further, there is a couple of links in the description where you can get some gear or maybe make a donation. Everything helps out a lot. It means so much to me, and thank you to everybody who has already donated to this channel and got your Rax gear. You guys are awesome. I can't really say thank you enough, so I'll see you guys on the next video.